afternoon everyone, how are you all? Thank you for joining me in studio today. I think this must be about the 5th or 6th live studio here in Wakefield. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Tony Darrock and I'm a guest presenter over on Create and Craft, and the purpose of our channel is to inspire each other basically. So if you like to stamp, dye, colour, basically anything to do with craft. I can't sew buttons though, but I can paint, or I can try to paint. So don't ask me to do any soft crafts. I would love to do it, but I'm not that good. And I don't have the time to learn, so mind you, I will have the time soon, won't I? So for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, welcome to the Stamps by Me studio. This is a lovely place for you to come visit, come and get some inspiration and come and meet some lovely friends who visit us week in and week out. If you are on YouTube, you just need to click the subscribe button and then you will get all the notifications, and click that bell and you will get all the notifications when we are live in studio. And at the moment we are live every single day. The only days that I am not here, which I'm not sure which days they are at the moment, is when I'm on TV in Peterborough. So just watch this space, you'll know when I'm on TV, because as soon as I find out I'll let you guys know at home also. So you're going to see me every single day. It's a good job I've got enough clothing so it doesn't look like I'm wearing the same thing all the time. So in today's studio we are going to visit some of the, still I'm sticking to this lovely collection. It's only been launched probably over a week and a half. It sold out in 4 minutes and we have been using them in studio quite a lot. So if you're still waiting for your packages to come to play, then brilliant. I'm sure they're going to be on their way imminently. And if you haven't got these products, dig out something that's got in your stash. Yesterday's demos could have easily been done using products that you will already have had in your stash, okay? Some good news, if you did miss out on the products from these flower frames, you know, the layering dies and the flower frames, they are back on Saturday. Don't tell anybody though, because I don't want them to sell out. If I drive all the way down there and they sell out before I get there, could you imagine? It doesn't matter anyway, because I've got to come home, which I always do anyway because of Tom, but as you know all the hotels are closed anyway, so I will be coming home, so don't worry about it. But yep, they're live on Saturday, so if you did miss out or you've got your eye on something, fingers crossed Create and Craft do the same pricing for you to get a good bargain. The show on Saturday is 3 hours. We have 2 hours on fabulous florals and then we have a bonus hour, but I'm not going to tell you anything about it today. That's going to be a surprise. So in today's studio I'm going to use the Flower Frames Daisy 2. I am trying to use all of the products throughout all of the collection. So yesterday we did some rectangles and we did the foliage circle. Well, today we're doing the rectangle flowers and we're going to do the square frame. This one first then. Just before I tell you about this though, I do want to just remind you, I've had a lot of questions about it. Craft Academy is launching on the 6th of April. It's a 12-week programme, and basically rather than me stand here and just demonstrate everything as we always do, from maybe 2 years to 1 year to up and coming products, we're just going to focus on the stamp that is for that week. So basically I will show you what the stamp is. You'll have a week to purchase the stamp, and then the following week you craft along with me for a week, and I'll also show you week on week the stamp that we're going to be using for the 12 weeks. That's basically it in a nutshell. You can get them all if you want to do the full 12-week program, get them all together and you can have them in your stash ready, or you can just wait each week to see if it's a stamp that you're going to use and you're going to love, because I appreciate some people don't like to do scenes. There are a plethora of images though, from flowers to scenes to picturesque things as well, so watch this space with it. Basically I've put it together, it was meant to be for the summer, I've put it together, or pulled it forward should I say, made it from an 8-week programme to a 12-week programme for you guys to you know, not think like you're left at home on your own, because you're not, because there's so many people here that are happy to support, help and inspire. And one quick thing is, have you noticed how on Facebook, every time you just like go up the page, there's so much inspiration. There are so many companies inspiring, Facebook Lives, YouTubes, and it's wonderful to see. you know, we've been doing it for a long time now because of the QR codes. We've had the studio for 2 years, but when something happens like it has, it's just wonderful to see everybody just sort of like bunker down, get on with it and still keep that inspiration coming to take people's minds off it. So, you know, I'm proud to be a crafter of a massive craft community that is so kind. So, you know, and it costs nothing to be kind. Let's move on. So I am going to use this one here, and I'm going to show you something a little bit different to what we've done before. I am trying to show you different ways to use these products. So let's just set this one aside. Let's just move everything over that I've already done. So here I have a top folding note card. Let's just make sure we've not got any questions so far. If you see me looking down, it's not me being ignorant or looking at something on the floor. We have a screen which has got all your lovely comments on, and I can see all the lovely faces. Joe, Gillian, Christine, hi sweetheart, Shirley, I can see you all. So if you have any questions, don't forget to ask, but just be mindful that I'm not very good at multitasking, so craft and then I'll look up, craft and then I'll look up. So I've got here a top folding note card, and I have a piece of white card, and it's got a little border round them. We're just going to keep this one quite delicate. The one that we did yesterday, the white on white, I think the foliage one was your favourite. I think just pipped the post on the other one, and I will be picking a winner for those lovely cards. So what I've done ahead of time is I've already gone ahead and made my embellishment. So this is the beautiful I think this one is the tulip frame. So I've already gone ahead, cut it 3 times and glued it together just in white. You know how much I love these embellishments. What I've also got is this one here, which is this one from here. So Flower Frames Daisy 2. And you've seen how you can alcohol marker them and colour them. Can we see that there? So you can colour them with your alcohol markers, pop some stencil work behind, make them into an embellishment. They're absolutely beautiful. So my son is at the door waving at me, so is he wanting to come in? He can come in. Come on in, Tom, it's fine. I'm sure people won't mind. So what first of all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this element out of this piece of card that we've got for our mat and layer. I'll just show you exactly what I'm doing, like so. So you can see the mat and layer, and we're going to cut this piece out of the white piece. I'm just going to grab my plates. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so when I pop my die down, it's actually in the right place, because I am going to use the excess card as well. So let's just see if I can find my low tack tape. Maybe not. So I'll just go for it. You watch, it'll be really wonky. I don't mind. I don't mind today. So we're just going to run this one straight through the machine. And then it's going to create that window in our piece of card. It's going to create that aperture feel. So this is going to be quite a pretty card, is this one? Quite plain but very pretty. So I think you're going to like this one. And at the end, I will post the finished mates over on Facebook, and you can let me know which ones you've enjoyed the most. So I'll just take this piece of white card off here, because I do need this piece. So the one with the window in, we need this piece for our card. So I'm just going to set that one aside. And you can see there we've got that lovely window now in our card. So I have an embellishment there as well, but I'm not using this one today. I'm going to save it. And here's one I used from another card. Look, I'm going to save it. And this is how I end up with all the lovely like embellishments, sticking them together, because I save them all. I don't throw anything away. So I'll just pop that to one side. With the same die, I'm going to cut it in some gold. Okay. So it doesn't matter if it's not very straight on this occasion, because I'm not using the waste. I'm just going to use it as the focal point. And this is just showing you that all of the rectangle dies with the flowers in the centre are exactly the same size. So if you want to use the frame, they're exactly the same size. So if you snip away the flower, all of the frames are the same size. Is Tom hiding under the table? No, he just had a quick question which we've sorted and is now back in his chair listening to his story. He probably asked his dad what something meant because he didn't understand. That's normally the only reason he takes his earphones out, is because there's been a word he doesn't understand. So you can see how gorgeous it looks in the gold, but again, I'm not going to use the flower. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip away the flower and use the frame. We see that I've also got a nice stitch detail frame on there now. Well, let's save my gold one, very precious. And then we'll get rid of the excess on there. So let's bring our card back into play here. So what I'm going to do, first of all, because they're all the same size, this is a tulip one which has the embellishment on there. Can we see that? That's going to fit straight back in this recess. Can we see that there? Like so. First of all though, we're going to create a pretty background. So we've been using some papers and we used our lovely pens and things like that. So today we're going to create, because it's sunny, a rainbow. So I'm going to use the watercolours. But you don't have to have these watercolours, just remember you've probably got something in your stash that will work. Did you all see Tom's picture? We did a difficult one, didn't we? The reason why he picked Sarah was because he liked the hearts on the red jumper. So I was like, oh, I'm not sure about that, but we went with it anyway. So, and when nobody was choosing who it was or guessing who it was, he was like, yes. I'm like, that's not the object, Tom. You're supposed to get it really good so people do get it right, not the opposite. So he was like, nobody's guessing, I did a good job, Mum. Like, that's not quite right, son. So he's done another one and we will be posting it later today, hopefully. If not later today, tomorrow. He's done another belter. So let's hope you like it, if nothing else. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a rainbow on the back of this card. What I always do is I always hold my artwork in place and then I can see where I need to pop the colour down, roughly. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect, but it's just roughly. So let's do pink first. Let's just put the palette out at the base here. So let's go pink. Get a nice mix on there. So I'm holding it roughly in the area where the aperture is going to be. I'm just going to do some lines. So let's do a nice pink. Now it is normal cardstock, so it's not going to look like a smooth blend, but I'm okay with that. I don't really want the smooth blend. I'm happy with the lines. Take it a little bit further up. And then we'll swap. So we've gone pink into red. Now we're going to do into some orange. Bit more orange on there. Like so. Can we see a nice bright background? Let's do the lovely yellow. And then let's go green. That's quite a cheery background already, isn't it? If you cut this out of that now, you'd end up with like a rainbow embellishment, which would be quite cool. So I think that's probably going to be, let's just bob a bit more pink at the top in case I've missed the corner. Take it up there a little bit. So if you've missed an area, don't worry about it. Look, you can go back over and extend it. I don't want it to be perfect and I really don't want it to be a smooth blend. I want the rainbow today because it's beautiful and sunny outside. Well, I hope it is sunny for most of you. It's been beautiful here today in Wakefield. Absolutely beautiful. Just pop a bit more green down there. So let's try this one off and let's see where we're at with our lovely card. Has anybody been crafting today? Sunny in Stockport, brilliant. Oh, yeah, Lynn, they did sell out, but I'm back on Sunday with, it's not a lot, okay? So please watch the show if you are wanting them, because as you all know, we Create and Craft do their own pricing. We have no involvement in that. And it's fabulous that they do them so low, and unfortunately we can't do them as low as that. So if you are wanting to save those pennies, you do need to tune into the live shows. Get a bargain. Been crafting all day. That's amazing. There we go, we'll leave that be. So the aperture window that we did, I've already got a mark on it. Didn't take long, did it? So the aperture window, we need a lovely sentiment at the base of it. Just pop it into the Eureka here. And that's why it's important that you get your aperture straight in your window that you're going to put on. I am going to use one of the sentiments from this collection. So you all saw yesterday this collection that I launched. I am doing a craft along with this I'll just quickly show you just in case anybody didn't see yesterday. So the paper pad, the stamp coordinating die, we are doing a craft along with this next week. We launched it yesterday, and basically we're going to be doing a lovely box with some notelets and some cards and an embellishment and maybe a belly band on the front, and we're going to do it like real time together. So if you are wanting to craft along and you like the orange pad, all you need to do is go to our website and pop FBL in the search engine, and everything that I use in studio is on there. But if you don't want the paper pad, that's fine. Dig through your stash, have a look for some papers and maybe a stamp and a die that you like from your stash, and you'll be able to craft along with me, okay? So it's going to be really nice, that one, because there's going to be no prep and I'm going to be talking through everything that I'm doing, so you can get your goodies out on your desk and just basically do it with me. I know a lot of you bought it yesterday, which is super, super cool, so I know there's going to be people tuning in for it. Get the stamp. So on this one then you get quite some lovely bold sentiments, so I'm going to pick an appropriate one. I think Thanks for Being You is lovely, so I'm going to go with that one. Just going to pop it in the centre here, make sure it's centralised there, and we'll just stamp this one out in black, make sure it's straight. There we go. Make sure I pop that back for next week, because you can guarantee it won't be there when I need it. So I'll just set that one aside. Just quickly pop my gun on that, just for any excess ink. There we go. So let's construct this card. So what I'm going to do is my embellishment, I'm going to pop face down on my counter, like as if it's the back side, if that makes sense, face down on my counter, and I'm going to pop the image into the recess in my window, like so, and then I'm just going to get my tape pen. I'm just going to pop some tape down the side, if it'll just grab it and keep it together for me. That's it. So I'll run a bit of tape down the side, keep it together. So normally when I do these and I embellish, I always put the embellishment on the front so it looks like it's 3D'd on the front. Well, we're trying to do the opposite today. We're not trying to look like it's raised. So people will be thinking, how have you done that then? It's sunk into the page. So a bit like a router, you know, where you router out and it goes together smooth, like that. So something a little bit different to what we traditionally do. So I'm just trying to grab it, if it'll allow, just to stay put, hopefully. There we go. And then I'm going to grab some 3D foam pads, and I'll also actually use my pads to help me hold that frame in place. That's probably a better idea than trying to use that tape actually. Yep, I will do that. Can we see that there? So the pads are holding the embellishment into the cardstock. We see that there. So that's probably a better way of doing it than trying to do it with your tape gun. So go all the way around. It is probably better if you use white pads, but unfortunately I haven't got any. Like so. And then hopefully it'll be held in place. Can we see that there? There we go. Can we see? So it's like flat rather than built up, but it will be even flatter in a second, and I'll show you how. So let's just take off these pads. So I think these pads are about 1 or 2 mil thick. They're not the thicker ones, but I think any pads will work what you've got in your stash. So we'll bring our lovely rainbow in, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pop our artwork on top. And we see how you get that beautiful colour just pop through there. Make sure it's perfectly straight. Make sure my card's the right way up, it is. And just 1 second. Try and get that recess if you can, best you can. I know it's difficult. Push it as flat as you can, and it's sat into your artwork. You see that there? Got a little bit of a sink there, so I need to pop maybe one under there too. And then what we're going to do then is the gold frame we are going to stick over the top to create that lovely gold window. So I just need, let me just make sure it's all fine. Yeah, it is all fine. It would frustrate me. So I just need to pop a pad under this little area. So make sure when you do yours at home, you put pads all the way around. Is that, sorry, I just missed that lady's name asking about Craft Academy there, Tim, sorry. So the lady that's just asked about Craft Academy, I've just spoke about it, but don't worry about it. Basically, it starts on the 6th of April, and I will be launching the first stamp, albeit I won't be using it, but I'll be showing you it. So if you want to craft along with me the following week, I will get them out to you. But if you follow it like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you can still go back and buy the first week stamp, because the tutorials and the tuition don't disappear. It stays on YouTube forever. So, you know, that's a great thing. So 6th of April. And just pop that lovely gold window down there just to grab. So I am just going to try and push a pad underneath there, even if it is just a little one, because if somebody's going to win this, I will be horrified. So I'm just going to lift it up. I'll show you. Look, I'll just try and lift it up here and then pop this one inside if it allows me to. It might go horribly wrong, but it might not. Push it right in. There we go. It's a little bit better. And there we have a very clean, simple, bright, cheery card with rainbow colours behind. There we go. So that's card number 1. I hope you like that one. You'll have to tell me at the end which one you like. That would lend itself really well to some sparklies popped or some sequins within the window. You know, just 2 or 3, just to make it a little bit sparkly. So let's move on to card number 2 then. So I really like that one, and I think the simplicity of it just, you know, it's just beautiful. So let's just lay that one to the side there. Let's move on to our second card, which is going to be equally as beautiful. So the second card that I'm using is the Flower Frame 6. So yesterday I did rectangle, and today I'm going to do the lovely squares, because I don't think I've touched much on the square ones. So I am going to run through the square ones now and show you again something a little bit different. So I have a 6x6, I think it is. Just over, because the dies are 6x6, so the card is probably 6 and a little bit more. Just so I get that nice white piece. So ahead of time I've cut both parts of the die. So I have the solid part, which was your coloured part if you want to cast a shadow, and then we've got this lovely outline part which gives you your detail, and I'll just show you that on your die here. So you have your detailed part, which creates this one, and then you have the coloured part, the solidy portion, which creates this element. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint. I know. So rather than using your traditional coloured card and paper to create the background and cast that shadow, you can create your own. So all I'm going to do basically is I'm going to do some beautiful pink roses. Now if you want to be arty and add orange and pink and, you know, just to really enjoy it, then please do, because that's what they're there for. And if you don't like it, it's a piece of card, isn't it? We can cut another one. So I'll just pop this card underneath here. Now I'm not trying to be fancy. Stunning card. Thank you so much, Tracy. So I'm not trying to be fancy. I'm just going to go with it. So I can see that they're leaves, obviously, and they're a leaf. So I'm just going to go with the roses. So I'm going to paint the roses. And this one is going to be a pink one. So we're just laying the colour flat. Probably go right around there. And then whilst it's still wet, I'm just going to pick up some orange, and I'm just going to drop a little bit of orange in there. Just random. I'm not even really trying to follow the lines. I'm just dropping some of that orange in there random. Just let it do its work. All of it's not going to show anyway when I come to put the other dye on top. So let's swap it out a little bit and let's do this bottom corner one. So let's reverse the colour. So let's do orange all over on this one. And then let's pick up some of that lovely pink and drop some of the pink in. Go as dark as you dare, remember, because you do always get the colour drying back a lot lighter. So I'm just going back in and adding some darker orange on there because it's pretty much dispersed into nothing. I'm also trying to keep some of that pink too, as bright as we can. So looking very ugly at the moment. It actually looks like Tom's had a play at this one, but I'm okay with that. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to mix my pink and my orange just to get a different tone, and we'll just colour this one in a different one. Let's just drop some pink on there, just random. Like so. So when you lift it up, it looks better. It does look better when you lift it up, honestly. It's because of the colours underneath. Can we see that there? There we go. So albeit it's still quite messy, it will look really lovely when we come to put our second layer on there. And the card, I've created a little bit of a stencil on there as well. So let's just do the green parts. I am tipping that they are leaves, so I'm going to go with the green. I'm just following my die in the hope that I am getting it right. So I'll pop the green on there too. Pop a bit of dark green on. So. I'll just take this orange here because I'm not quite sure if that's the start of another flower or if it's green, so it's going orange. We'll not risk it. Pop a bit of pink on too. So all the other areas that I'm not quite certain on, I've just popped some orange down just to get some colour down. So let's dry this one off. You don't have to be too careful about the edges as well, because the edge of your second die covers the edge of your first die. So if you've got a little bit of a tremor or a shake and you get it over the lines, don't stress about it. You know, the second die does cover it. Let's set that aside. So you can see here, look what happens when we come to put our masterpiece on top. You only get, look how cool that is, the shadow from the flowers, and it will become more apparent when we come to glue it down. It looks like you've spent ages shading in the elements when really we've just literally slapped it on there. Yep, 12 week in your home and your gardens. Yep, treat it as a holiday. If you look at it as a positive and treat it as it's time to pause, you know, take your foot off the gas, catch up on all those things that we complain about day in and day out about not being able to do. You know, just try and look at it as a positive. You know, if you're negative and you think about it as being a negative, it will only get you down. It will upset you, you know. It will have an impact on whoever you're living with. So if we can turn it around and make it into something positive, then, you know, let's do that. The sun is shining and we're at home. Normally would we be sat at our desks? Would we be working? Don't know. But yeah, if we can turn it into a positive, I'm all for that. So I'll just get rid of this blockage in my glue here. So I'm just going to pop some glue around the edge. And we'll 3D this one onto the top of that other one. Just pop some spots of glue behind those lovely rose elements, just so it's not flapping around. If I pop on Facebook, the Craft Academy, and if you are interested in doing the Craft Academy, could you let me know? The only reason I say that is we have a certain amount of stock, and with the interest that we're having, I'm worried people are going to be left out. So if I can sort of gauge the amount of people that are interested, it will help me manage stock. And if I feel like I haven't got enough, I will get some more in this building before I actually launch it on the 6th of April. So after, like, I'm just thinking about it now. So after Live Studio, if I just pop who's interested in Craft Academy, starting on the 6th of April, please let me know underneath, and I can just gauge if I have enough stock. I do have a lot, but the interest that we've had and the emails that we've had about it, I would hate to people to say, I'm sorry, it's out of stock, because it's just not fair, particularly when you're at home. So it would just help me gauge if I need to get some more. That would be brilliant if you could help me out with that one. Heather, you don't have to join, sweetheart. I'm just going to launch it live in studio, and you can just pick which weeks you want to join in on and which weeks you don't. If you like to craft along with me, you don't have to have the stamps. it's just going to be a program of 12 weeks where you can buy the stamp, and I'm in here every day showing you so many different ways to use that stamp. And then I'll also show you one that's going to be in the following week, and you can purchase it ready for that studio if you want to. Or if I'm using it in studio and you haven't managed to buy it but like what we do after, it will still be available. It's not like you're signing up to anything. It's just if you want to just get involved in the 12 weeks that we're all obviously having to stay in. So it's no sign up fee or anything like that. If you like the stamp, you can get it, we'll get it out to you and you can craft along for the week. But it is a 12-week program, and if you want to do them all, keep your mind off things that they will be ready as a 12 set, so you can buy all 12 and know that you've got them in your home if you are tuning in every week like predominantly most of you are. I hope that helps. So it is a good idea, and like I say, it was meant for the summer, but it just seems like it was meant to be. All the images are in place, all the artwork is in place, and it just seems like I created that for this moment. Does that make sense? Is it fate? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you call it. So let's go back to our crafting. So when you come to pop it on your card, look, there we go. It looks absolutely beautiful. Now, I would suggest that you always stick these ones flat, just simply because you can see through. And if you pop a pad behind there, it is going to look pretty ugly. So I always say stick these ones flat. So all the way around, some spots to make sure it sticks down. I'm just going to stick it straight on top of this card here, this card blank, straight as I possibly can without making a mess. And just give it a second to grab on there. So with Craft Academy, I'm just getting a lot of questions, that's all. With Craft Academy, it's still on YouTube, it's still available to everybody else. So it's not cruel actually, but if you buy the stamp, somebody else who hasn't bought the stamp can still craft along. And we have to do that. It's only fair and right and proper that we do that, because people at home cannot afford these products week in and week out. So basically they are launched here in studio, as we do launch anything here in studio, okay, and then they drop onto YouTube, and then they just stay there forever. So you can go and catch up on it at any point. If you've bought the stamp and missed the show, it will be there. If you haven't bought the stamp and want to see what's going on, you can go do it, take another craft stamp out of your stash and craft along. Okay, we're not leaving anybody out. I won't allow it. So it's an open program where if you want to buy the stamp, you can buy the stamp and craft along. If you can't afford the stamp, you can sit at home and craft along with what you've got at home. Okay, there is no catch up. Just go to YouTube, pop in Stamps by Me, and all the videos are there that we've been doing for the last 2 years, 328 of them, if I'm right. And just enjoy them. I've done them for you, and that's why they're there. So you can see there, look at that, how beautiful is that, the dimension on there. Now if I'd have cut that white one 2 or 3 times and built it up, it would look like a stunning embellishment. Now you wouldn't know that that coloured part is a dye. It looks like I've taken my watercolours and coloured behind that element. You would not know that is a dye, in my opinion anyway. Can I say that? Tony, when will the pads and dies be on CNC? They are going to CNC imminently. We're just waiting on the date, okay? So I'm on TV on Saturday and then on Monday, I think, but I'm just waiting for the date. So keep your eyes peeled for those as well. But don't, like I just said, if I do use the paper pads and you're waiting for them to land on Create and Craft, the videos don't go away. So you can go back when you do get your pad and watch and learn and play. So ahead of time, I've cut the same frame in gold, and I'm just going to do exactly the same concept as I did with the other one with the frame, but on this occasion what I've done is I've left a corner of it in. So when we come to overlay, we have a corner gold embellishment and the other 2 are white. Can we see that there? So let's lay this one on top. So this is exactly the same concept of the first one we did. The only difference is I've left some of the elements within the die. So it's just food for thought when you are embellishing. You don't have to cut all of the element away. Leave some of it in. So I'll have a lovely gold rose in the bottom left corner of my card, and the rest will be that lovely white embellishment. Oh, there's a piece there I haven't popped out. There we go. So for Craft Academy, it's a whole new set of stamps. So one brand new stamp every single week. So something different, so it won't all be florals, it won't all be scenes, it'll be stepping out of that box and doing something different. However, if I do launch a floral stamp and you think to yourself, I've got something similar to that, you can use that. Okay, but the programme is to try and get you all to interact, take your mind off what's going on at the moment, and just inspire you and show you that, you know, one stamp might look one way, but we can use it in so many other ways. So can you see that now? We've got that gorgeous white embellishment, and then we've got the beautiful gold embellishment on there. So something a little bit different. Let's just get it to stick. And ahead of time, I have stamped Smile here on a piece of white cardstock, and I'm just going to create myself a, like, is it a flag where you cut into the end of it, like so. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I haven't decided where I'm going to pop this yet. You're all shouting at me now going, don't spoil it, don't spoil it. So I think we'll go somewhere here. So let's just pop a pad behind. Like so. So we've got sort of, and then you're probably thinking it looks a bit naked now. And it does look a little bit naked, but it's nothing a few gems cannot sort out. So let's get some lovely sparkly gems just to fill. I think we're going to go with the gold. Oh, okay. You always reach for the same ones all the time, don't you? So we'll put one there. Let's just see what it looks like. One there. Yep, we'll go there. I'm going to connect that one because I do like things connected. And then the other one I'm just going to pop, so it's just, get rid of that hair of mine. I'm just going to pop that under there, so it's just poking out from underneath that little flag, so it's like it was meant to be. And if you wanted to just maybe enhance it a little bit more, you could do a few splats off the edge of your brush and fill those gaps. But I am quite a clean card maker. But if you're different at home, you could stencil behind that, add some detail, do as you please. I'm just here to have a play for myself, but I am here to inspire you also. So there we go, 2 different cards, so a little bit different for me, hey, coming out of the box with a 6x6 card, and then our lovely 5x7 card on there for you. So you'll have to let me know which ones you like. 2 beautiful cards. Thank you, Valerie. Glad you put the message there, didn't want you to cover the gold. I know, it's such a decision because we're all so different as crafters. I always think, oh, they're not going to like it, they're not going to like it. But, you know, it's just to inspire you. You can put your sentiment wherever you want. So that's it from me today. It's Wednesday today. Yes, it's Wednesday today. So again, I'm back with you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I think we might do something different tomorrow. We'll see. I haven't decided, but I will be here doing something for you guys at home. So to make you pick up that brush or that pen or that pencil and play. I've had a great afternoon, guys, and I have had a great afternoon for the last 6 days, and I'm so fortunate that you tune in time and time again. Don't forget to share the studio and let all your friends know if they're at home, if they've got access to YouTube or Facebook. They can always watch the show so they never miss a video. So I'm sending all kind wishes, I'm sending you lots of love, and I hope you're all staying and doing as you're told. Just for the time being, it won't kill us, it will not kill us, it's time to breathe. I've just been asked a few questions. I was just about to say bye, but then I've just been asked a question. The Craft Academy stamp. So our stamps are normally $17.99, but we're going to do them at $15.99 because I know people are a little bit uneasy at the moment with jobs and things like that. So we've lowered the price by the £2. And if you do want to get involved, you can do that. And I always say this, and I will stand here and say it for about the 4th time today, please do not feel obliged to buy the stamp. You can come and watch me anytime. I am here 24/7 in the studio. Have a great evening. Take care all. Love you lots. Bye.